Ah, please feel free if you have questions about anything, feel free to turn your mic on and just interrupt because it's you and me. Okay, so getting started. So you signed up for triathlon. Now what? So I'll go over the distances here. Just so you know, I'm sure if you've registered, you know what you signed up for, but just in case you need a refresher on what the distances are, I have that for you. So in triathlon, there's sprint, Olympic, half Ironman, also referred to as a 70.3, a full Ironman, and then there's other ones called aquabike, ultra distance, and duathlon. Um, those last three aren't super common, so I didn't put the distances for those because they're going to vary. But for your sprint, your swim, you're doing 750 meters, you're biking 12 miles, you're running a 5K. For your Olympic, it's a 1.5 kilometer swim, a 25-mile bike, and then a 6.2 mile run. Half Ironman, you're going to swim 1.2 miles, you're going to bike 56 miles, and you're going to run a 13.1. And a full Ironman, you're swimming 2.4 miles, you're biking 112 miles, and you're running 26.2 miles. An aqua bike basically eliminates the run. So if you were more interested in doing a swim, bike, swim, that's an option. Ultra distance, you're doing ultra distance for everything. Take it and double it essentially. And then duathlon is going to be a bike run bike situation. Okay, so what do you need for swim training? This is like a really basic overview of what you're gonna need to like take to the pool with you. You're definitely gonna want to do a suit that is appropriate for swim training. Um, I would recommend a one piece, a full piece instead of a bikini. You can do it in a bikini. You just might find that bikinis drag quite a bit and it just can be frustrating. Or if you are a self-conscious person, then the bikinis are only going to make that worse. The full suits here, they come in a bunch of different styles and cuts. So there's a high cut where that it will come up kind of more around your hips. They have more full coverage. You can choose between a higher neckline or a lower neckline, strap thickness, what kind of back you want. Um, I definitely would recommend try them on because one, sizing is all over the place, even within the brands themselves. And then two, it will give you an idea of what feels the most comfortable. You want your suit to be snug. You don't want it cutting off circulation, but it should be one of the tightest pieces of clothing that you own because they will eventually stretch out as you use them. If we had any men in the group, we'd talk about briefs and jammers, but I don't have to cover those if you don't want. As far as like goggles go, definitely would recommend if you're outdoor training, get yourself some outdoor specific ones that are mirrored and tinted. They will also work for in the pool. They'll work just fine. They just might make it a little bit darker so when you're looking down at the bottom of the pool, sometimes depending on lighting, it might be a little bit harder to see the black line. But once you get outside, you're definitely going to want that. Invest in a swim cap for certain, whether it's latex or silicone, whichever works best for you. Silicone ones do tend to be thicker and therefore a little bit hotter, but they do last longer than the latex ones. And if you have any sort of latex sensitivity, you'll want to use a silicone one. The swim caps are going to somewhat protect your hair from the water. I mean, it's going to end up, you'll get it wet on the back of your head, but your whole head, for the most part, should stay dry. But really, the purpose of a swim cap is to keep your hair from getting in your face. And it also helps you to just maintain hydrodynamics, essentially, just helps you move through the water better. You might want to invest in some fins. Fins are going to help develop your kick in the water, and there's different types of fins. So there's short fins, like these, and then there's medium fins, and there's ones that are, like, super long. Um, if you feel like you've already got pretty strong legs, but maybe you just need to work on getting your kick faster, the short fins are good for that. Medium and long fins are gonna help develop those muscle groups, and help just develop an overall kick, but it will make your kick slow. So you just kinda have to decide what you wanna do. I personally use the short fins, those are my preferred ones. Coming from cycling, going into swimming, I already have pretty strong legs, so I just needed to develop this. So that's what I use. If you don't have a kickboard, I definitely recommend investing in one. When you're in the pool, they are going to allow you to isolate and work on legs, and be able to run some drills. Plus, also, you might get tired, and having that kickboard be able to just hold you up um, can give you a nice little break. And then there's also a pull buoy. So it's Pull. This allows you to isolate for your arms. So you would hold this between your legs, you don't kick, and allows you to work on your stroke and making sure that you're getting the technique for that correct. Um, when you are in open water, you're definitely going to want to have a safety buoy of some sort. This particular one clips around your waist and then it floats on top of the water behind you. And this is so if you're in open water, which when you go to do that kind of training, you should always either go with somebody or tell someone that you are going to do that. Have the pull buoy, or sorry, the safety buoy, so that people can see you and know where you are at. Okay, so for bike training, what do you need for bike training? Pretty straightforward. You need a bike. I'd recommend a helmet, a water bottle, a pump, and some lights. Um, Water bottle, really, you're gonna need that across all three for training. I just threw it in with bikes. Pump, good thing to have so you can make sure your tires are inflated. You gotta inflate your tires either every 3 days or every time you go ride. You could throw it in your car and leave it there. I think I have a pump in my car and my house, so it's always good to have it around. And then lights just add another layer of, "Hey, I'm a human, please don't run me over and kill me today." And then there's really kind of two different types of bikes right now that you might look at if you're just getting started. And that's either a road bike or a hybrid. And I'm going to go over the differences real quick. So these right here on the right side, these bikes, those are hybrids. And then these on this side on the left are road bikes. So road bikes are overall better for competition. They're better for training, better for group rides, better for long distance rides. They tend to be, depending on how much you spend, lighter weight and more efficient than a hybrid is going to be. When I say that road bikes are better for competition and all and training and all of that, what I'm really talking about, besides the weight of the bike and the componentry that's on it, is the riding position on that bike. So if this is the bike and this is your body, when you're on a road bike, you tend to be more in this position. And when you're in this position, you are activating more of your muscle groups, basically from bottom of your base of your skull all the way down to your heels. So you're activating these big, huge muscle groups, but you're also able to activate the little muscle groups that are in between. So as you're out and you're riding and you're in these competitive situations, you can switch back and forth and kind of give your body a little bit of a break. And also use those big muscle groups to kind of like punch it. If you need to sprint, you're in a good position, you're in a good bodily position to really put the hammer down, essentially. And then for hybrids, hybrids tend to be better for casual riding, commuting, short distances. And by short distances, I mean anything under 20, maybe 25 miles if you're really stubborn. And hybrids do tend to be heavier and they're not as efficient. So if you're sitting on a hybrid, you're going to be kind of more in maybe this position. So you're not able to activate as many of those muscle groups as you can on a road bike. You're really relying pretty much on your thighs, maybe your quads, maybe a little bit of your booty. But it's not going to be the same amount of activation and engagement that you can get when you're on a road bike riding position. Hybrids, though, if you're not used to riding on a bike, they are a little bit more comfortable. They're also easier to get adjusted to, because they feel a lot like what you may have ridden growing up. If you rode a bike when you were a kid, it's a very similar riding position. Your hands are out here. The shifting is pretty much the same. You've got indicators to tell you like what gear you're in. It's an easier bike to use to get into the cycling side of it. But the road bike really is, if you can push through, the road bike is a better option for competition, especially if you think, "Oh, I know that I want to keep doing this." Okay, so for run training, I'll be super honest, I'm not a runner, so I might be missing something, and if I am, I do apologize. So for run training, obviously, you're going to need a really good pair of sneakers. You're going to want to go to some place like Athletic Annex, have them analyze how you run, analyze your feet. If you have really high arches, or maybe you have really flat feet, or maybe you are someone that walks on your heels and therefore you kind of run that way, they can look at all of that and recommend the best shoe that's going to work best with your body. So, a really good pair of running shoes. You might want to invest in a smartwatch of some sort. Uh, Garmin has lots of watches that are triathlon focused. So they're going to work with your bike. Obviously, they're going to work with you run, and they will also work with your swim. Some of them will allow you to upload your workouts into it. So then your watch is telling you when it's time to go do this drill, or now it's time to go do this interval, or anything like that. Plus, if you like data feedback, having the watches is very nice. They will also pair up if you wanted to wear like a heart rate monitor to get an even more accurate heart rate tracking. So if you're training based on zones, so like zone 1, zone 2, 3, 4, whatever, having a heart rate monitor that is paired to your watch will just give you an even better idea of what your heart rate looks like while you're training. Sunglasses, always nice. It gets bright and sunny here in Indiana. If you've got sensitive eyes, investing in a good pair of sunglasses, especially ones that have like little grips all the way around, they'll stick on your face. They shouldn't move around, and you can also use them for biking. Definitely have some sort of reflective gear on you, whether it's a little clip or like a little vest or something. Just again, it's another safety feature of, hey, I'm a human. Please don't kill me. Might want to invest in a good hat. I know it seems kind of silly, but a good hat's going to protect you from the sunshine. You're going to be outside probably a lot, and skin cancer is a thing. So we just want to try and protect you from that. And then if you have to do any sort of indoor training, the Kicker Run from Wahoo is a fantastic alternative to the treadmill. It is a treadmill, but it doesn't feel like one, and it hooks up to Zwift, so you can kind of gamify your workout if for some reason you're running inside. It's just a really nice piece of equipment to have, if you're looking to have something inside to be able to run. Okay, so where to find all of this stuff? Obviously, you can come to Bicycle Garage Indy. You can go to any of our locations. We will help you with your bike, finding out the gear that you need for your bike. We can help you with if you needed to replace a treadmill or you wanted to get the Kicker Run. We can help you with that. Elsmore Swim Shop is a local shop on 96th Street. They are fantastic. Melissa is my favorite person who works there. She helped me when I was first getting started with swimming and sized me into a suit and walked me through everything and helped me pick out all of my gear. She's very, very nice. The people over there are very, very nice. Highly recommend them. Athletic Annex, which I mentioned earlier, definitely would recommend them for going to look for your running gear, whether it's shoes or clothes or a safety thing. They're a fantastic resource, and they've got 3 different locations. So if one of those Carmel Fishers or Indianapolis on 86th Street is close to you, would recommend checking them out. There's some websites you can look at also. Swim Outlet, if you go to Elsmore or you're just not comfortable going in someplace, excuse me, Swim Outlet is a really good resource. They're going to have an overwhelming amount of selection. So I would recommend start at Elsmore, have Melissa size you, and then if you're like, I don't want to get, I'm uncomfortable, then go on to Swim Outlet and you can find their stuff and get what you need. Zootsports.com. Now, this is where it gets fun. Most places are not going to have triathlon specific clothing in stock because it is very, 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 very subjective. So Zoot Sports, they make really quality gear, and they're going to have pretty much all the options that you need once you're ready to get into, like, if you wanted to wear a skin suit or try specific suit once you're in competition, they would be the ones to go to and look at what they have. So where and who to train with. So for swimming, you could check out Indy Aquatic Masters. That's the swim team I'm part of. We have 10 different pools, and we have practices that start at 5:15 in the morning and they go until 6 o'clock at night. So lots and lots of options for places to swim. Their monthly membership is pretty reasonable, in my opinion. And the coaches are fantastic. And you can go to any of those coaches and say, hey, I need help with this specific thing. And can you watch me swim and give me feedback? And they will do that. If you don't know how to swim, or you kind of feel like, oh, I can float around in a pool and I'm not going to drown, but I'm really nervous about actual swimming portion. Indy Aquatic Masters does teach an adult learn to swim program. They have that. So you can go in and say, hey, I kind of already know how to swim. I want to learn the strokes. I'm training for a triathlon. Can you help me? And they will be able to provide that for you. There is Phoenix Fitness and Training in Broad Ripple area. They are triathlon focused, so they are a good group to go do your brick workouts, which would be your bike and run workouts. They also do open water swimming. Last I knew, I think they still do. But they would be good resource. Heather and Doug Robinson are the coaches. They're the ones that run it. They're fantastic people. They have represented Team USA for triathlon many times. They're great people. Love to teach. They're wonderful. Highly recommend. There's Tri Loco Indy. They are a tri-specific team in town. It's a big team. So they would be someone that you could go and get the whole gamut for swim, bike, and run workouts, training with, coaching, all of that good stuff. And I know that they also do open water swimming. So I'd really recommend, if you're going to do open water swimming, try to go with a team. Go with people, because it can get real scary real quick if you are uncertain. And then Athletic Annex, they have a run club. So if you feel pretty good about the other 3, but you are looking for people to go run with, Athletic Annex is a good resource. There's also Run 317, who I did not put on here, but they are a run club as well. So they might be someone to go look at if you are looking for run training. And then this is just gonna be general resources. So there's Ride with GPS. So if you're looking for places to ride, pre-made routes, this is a really good resource. It's an app that you can put on your phone, and then you can also access it through the desktop. And honestly, this is one of the easiest bike related apps I've ever used. Their desktop is really user friendly. Their app is really user friendly. They have this really cool feature where you can go in, type in your address, right? Or pick an area and it will show you all around where there are routes that have been made. And then you can go and choose that and download that route. And then you have a place to go ride, which is really cool. If you wanna keep track of how your training is going, Training Peaks is a really good resource. You can put your workouts into it. It will give you basically, like a suffer score almost. It will tell you after it's, accumulated 7 days worth of data, like what your fatigue level is, how long it should take you to recover, all this really fun stuff, and that's, like, the basics. If you are a data person, Training Peaks is you're gonna love it. Strava, definitely well known. You can use that for all 3 disciplines, swim, bike, and run, so you can upload your workouts into it. They do have a heat map, so if you're on the desktop, you can look and see where people are running or riding the most, and you could build a route off of that. And then for swim workouts, let's say you don't want to do any teams, you feel comfortable with your swimming, but you're not entirely certain what you should do. If you go to usms.org, that's US Master Swimming, they have a workout library and you can select triathlon specific swim workouts, and you can even narrow it down to beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So I think you can access those without being a USMS member. But that would be where I'd recommend you go to find a swim workout. And that is it. That's all I got.